I've got this super cool camping setup, and I can't wait to give you the full tour. Hello, friends. If you've been around for a while, you know that I usually spend my time cruising around the Yukon in my 2015 converted Sprinter van. However, in this episode, I'm in beautiful British Columbia and lucky to be able to borrow my dad's 2011 Dodge Caravan minivan camper. I can't wait to show you. But first, OMG, check out Salt Spring Island. It is stunning. If you want to see the full video of my trip to this magical place, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Video coming soon. Uh-oh. And here's our little spot. Morning, just woke up. Been spending the past 3 nights in my dad's minivan, and I'm just getting ready to go, but I thought I'd give you a quick tour. He's got these custom little window coverings. I think they're just made from a tablecloth and attached with Velcro. They work great for privacy. I didn't bother putting the back one up because I got this nice view of the forest. And then for the front, I've just got one of these things that I just put across the front 2 seats. And yeah, it was very, very private. So here are the sleeping quarters from the inside of the van. You can see it's pretty spacious. And then the platform extends out. I just put this section on the side so I had a bench to sit on. I can still sit up, not hit the ceiling. And yeah, I just had a sleeping bag in here. I forgot my pillow, so I had to use my Buffy jacket. And then underneath each of these, there are little storage compartments. So let's back up for a sec. This camper insert is from a Canadian outfit called Roadloft. It's a modular system that can be easily set up and taken out depending on your needs. My dad picked this up secondhand and has been using it for a number of years for camping and road trips. This is the actual setup with the table that folds down into a bed. Now with the Dodge Caravan, the second row seats stow into the floor, and my dad has removed the third row bench, which gives a lot of storage under the back kitchen area. You'll see the kitchen set up in a bed, but essentially the kitchen drawers slide out the back when the rear hatch is open. As I was just using the van for a couple days, and I'm pretty short at 5 foot 4 inches, I left the table behind and slid the bench to butt up against the rest of the bed. This left lots of space behind the front seats for the porta potty and my suitcase. Over here is a porta potty, which I thought, oh, that takes up a lot of room. Is it really necessary? And yes, it is. To clarify, there just are a lot more people around, so you can't really just pop a squat anywhere. So I'm glad I had it. There are storage containers, compartments that hang on the back of the chairs. So I've got a designated place to put my keys. Because I'm only in here for a few days, I didn't really unpack. So I just had my suitcase on the floor here and garbage over here. Another compartment, and then I just put my cooler up in the front seat so it was sort of out of the way, and the cooler also plugs into the cigarette lighter. But I did get a block of ice, and that has kept everything nice and cool. And in the front, I've got my backpack, other shoes, etc. So everything has its place, which is very necessary in such a small space. So I'll just push this up, get it out of the way, and slide over, put on my shoes. The great thing about this van is that it's got, well, it's probably normal with all minivans, is that it's got the sliding doors on each side, so great accessibility. like I said, this just slides out and goes here. And here's the view from the passenger side. I was pleasantly surprised how much headroom I had while sitting on the bench. Although there was space in the back to store food, I actually found it to be much more accessible and handy when I kept it up here. So that's what I ended up doing. Now for the kitchen. So there are two drawers, one on either side, and on the left side is the cook stove. In the middle, there's a removable panel with deep storage. On the right is the sink with a cutting board on top, and the basin is collapsible. Because the seats have been removed, you have this super deep storage area. And this is a backpack with dishes and cutlery and glasses. There's a water jug, other kitchen stuff, propane, extra blankets, camp chairs, tools, cleaning supplies, and whatnot. So, having spent about 3 nights, 4 days camping in this lovely little minivan, I thought it would be a good idea to go over the pros and cons. So, starting with the pros, what I really liked was how nicely the car drove. I mean, obviously, it's not like a big tall van where you're getting blown around on the road. It was a very smooth drive, well, except when I was bottoming out on back roads. But in any case, it was a very nice drive. It was also very small and compact. An advantage is you'd be able to go through drive-throughs easily and parkades. And because there are no solar panels or vents, it is super stealthy. Although I did not experiment with boondocking, you probably could have gotten away with it. And although you can't stand in this van, I found it very easy to move around inside the van. I had lots of headroom. It was easy to get changed, to use the toilet, and I am not a tiny person, so I actually found it quite a bit more spacious than I was expecting. I really like how the rear hatch doubles as a roof over top of the outdoor kitchen, and with the sliding doors on both sides, I found that really helped with getting access to what I needed. As far as other advantages go, this setup would be much more affordable than a classic Sprinter conversion, and because of the modular setup, it helps you get on the road faster. Now, it's not super high off the ground, but that made it very nice and easy for getting in and out. If you're using this vehicle also as your daily driver, what I really like about this setup are the different configurations that you can use and how easy it is to set it up for how you want to use it. Now, let's talk about the cons. You are limited to cooking outside with this rig, so if you're in an area where it's very stormy or rainy or cold, that might not be ideal. Additionally, you're going to be somewhat limited in what you can cook because there are only two burners, there's no oven, cleanup can be a bit challenging because there's no hot water system. So you're not going to be cooking elaborate meals. I mean, I find that when I'm traveling, I like to eat out and test the local delicacies, so that's not really a huge issue. There is a lot of storage in this rig, however, it's not always the easiest to get at, which is, one of the reasons I left my suitcase out in the main area. And, if you want a snack and all your food is in the back, that could be challenging. And so that's also why I ended up leaving most of my food at the front. But then I was kind of going back and forth from the front of the van to the back of the van. So just something to think about. Now, while this van is easy to get in and out of, it does have very low clearance, much less than my Sprinter. So that is another con. The only temperature control is in the front dash. So if you want heat or cooling, the van has to be running with lots of windows. That could be challenging. I would definitely not leave my dog in a van like this unattended. My dad has a small portable battery for charging phones and whatnot, but I would definitely want to upgrade that so I could have my 12-volt cooler plugged in all night and not have to rely on getting ice, etc. For one person, I found there to be ample space, but it would be incredibly tight with two people sharing the space. Not impossible and fine for weekender type excursions, but I think longer trips would be challenging, especially in crappy weather. Overall, I do love this van and I actually kind of want one. Is it time to trade in the Sprinter for a more simple setup? Time will tell. In any case, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. One take Tara.